my friend, and welcome to a video that is somewhat unusual for my channel. Interview lighting setups and breakdowns, things like that, aren't something I do a lot in my video world. But in this video, I want to talk about that briefly and kind of break down an interview setup that I did recently because Sirui sent me this awesome new tripod, the SVT75 and the SVH15 Fluid Head. However, this is not my world. I don't swim in this world all the time with interviews and things like that, but I was curious to try out this new tripod because it is a very affordable version of some more well-known tripods. However, I am going to feature my friend Clay Terrell in this video because this is the sort of work that he does week in and week out. He has a C70 that is rigged up much larger than any of my cameras, and so it's much more suitable for this kind of video tripod for work. So I'm gonna invite him in a bit later to do a bit more of a breakdown on what this tripod means for you if you're interested in it. For the rest of this video is just gonna be an interview breakdown, maybe demystifying a bit of the process because it's not something that I do terribly often, and I know it can be intimidating to set up interviews, think through the lighting, and so I kind of just want to give you the recipe for replicable results in a very easy way at an affordable price point. So this is sort of an interview breakdown video and also reviewing this tripod. So I'll leave some timestamps so you can skip to whichever part you're interested in because I know these might be kind of two audiences for one video. So anyway, without further ado, let's just dive in. We'll start with breaking down a bit of the interview before we get to the tripod. All right, we are doing an interview here in the barn. This is not exactly what you think of as like an interview-friendly sort of space, but the interview that I was looking to do today, I wanted to have some texture. I wanted to have it look organic to my subject. This is their house, this is their barn, and I thought it just was fitting. So we're making it work. We have like jet skis, we have tractors, we have all sorts of stuff just kind of around. So we're making it work here. Fortunately, it's a large enough space that we can put the stool right here and we still have about, I don't know, maybe 12, 15 feet worth of depth. So we've got some good depth and I think we're gonna be able to make this look really good. We've already set up all of our lights and everything. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna have, I'll just start with the backlight. So this is our hair light for our subject. So just kind of creating a little bit of contrast between them and the background, which you'll see once everything is turned on, not just the space lights. And then over here we have an accent wall light, and that's gonna be used to brighten up like the little bit of background that we have here. Again, kind of drawing the emphasis on the textures of the space and the barn, the fact that we are in, you know, kind of a rugged shop environment. So yeah, backlight or hair light, and then we've got like a little accent light, and then a little bit of neg here. We don't have too much reflection or anything, so this actually isn't doing very much. We tested it with and without, and there's not much of a difference, but just for safety's sake, it feels good to have it. So that's here. You'll notice that we don't have a boom set up. Yeah, I just decided that it was probably gonna be easier for this specific job to be just using lav. So no boom setup this time. And then B camera today is actually the XH2S with a Sirui sniper on it. So yeah, we have the XH2S with the Sirui sniper 33 mil on there. And the reason that I have that as my B camera is because my A camera is the XS20. And I have it rigged up a little bit right now just because I'm kind of playing with an idea here. Yeah, this is a very similar or the same rig basically as I made for the XH2S, which is part of the benefit of that rig is that you can easily kind of swap in and out pieces and cameras. So yeah, that's what we're working with here is the XS20 as the A camera, the XH2S as the B camera. The Sigma 18-35 is still my A camera lens. I thought about using one of the Sirui snipers, but I didn't know exactly what focal length I wanted to have the subject at, so having a zoom was really nice. I'm gonna be shooting both of the cameras on classic chrome, because I wanted to just have a clean image out of the camera. This is gonna be a somewhat quick turnaround for the edit. So yeah, could have been using F-Log2, would have felt very comfortable because I have the XS20 now and the XH2S. So both are F-Log2 capable cameras. Both I would feel very comfortable and confident about it, but the workflow with Classic Chrome for me is just so easy and quick. So that's what I'm working with here. And then lastly, the key. So the key light here is, of course, you know, we have the big parabolic softbox. I don't know which specific one this is. I'm renting this equipment from my buddy Blaze, whose YouTube channel is awesome, and he has great videos about lighting setups for interviews. So this is my key with a Nanlite FS300B on it. So yeah, I'm using the bicolor here because I didn't know if I would want to warm up my subject or anything at all. Because the accent light in the background is just the FS300, which is just daylight. So yeah, that's what we've got. We've got 300B here as the key light with the big parabolic softbox. Nice even wrap, nothing too dramatic or crazy. So that's pretty much the setup right now. Of course, the big thing that I want to mention, is the Sirui SVH15 Tripod. This thing is awesome. It's been really handy to have for, you know, interview style setup. But I'm gonna have my friend Clay talk more about that because he shoots a lot more interviews than I do. That's the tripod that we're using here. The other tripod doesn't matter. It's just a little travel tripod that I use and perfectly fine for a B camera. So anyway, that's pretty much the whole setup for this interview. I'll show you the before and after now of what the light looks like.
What's up? I'm Clay. I run a video production company in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this Sirui tripod has been a huge game changer for the everyday corporate and commercial shoots that I'm on. When I first opened up the tripod out of the bag, first thing that I noticed, and what pretty much everyone else is gonna see, is how heavy this thing is. But once you start messing with it, opening up the legs, using the latches, painting the head, and looking at the specs of what the tripod offers, you realize that weight is just part of the package for what you're getting out of this tripod. So here's the things that I really love about this tripod. One, I love that it's carbon fiber. Yes, it's super heavy when you pull it out of the box, but having carbon fiber legs is obviously saving a ton of weight in the legs, and I think a lot of the weight is going to be sitting in the head. Last thing on the handling is the actual handle that they include. Right underneath the head, there's a handle that is how you're most likely going to be transporting your tripod with no camera on it. When you pull it out of the bag, you can pull it from the handle. When you're carrying it across the room or across a shoot location, like, you have a handle that is really sturdy and feels really nice. When it comes to the head of the tripod, yes, it's beefy, it's huge, it's super heavy, but what comes with that is a 32-pound load capacity that is going to handle pretty much any camera that most people in this price range and budget are going to be shooting with. And I would venture to say that most people are not going to be reaching that 32-pound load capacity. You can just tell from the counterbalance and the different knobs and adjustments that this camera just stands up really well to a ton of weight and handles it perfectly. And I feel like once you use a really good tripod head, you can tell a difference big time when you use one that's not so good and doesn't support your camera package weight. And this one has handled it really well. The last thing I really like about the overall feel of the tripod is the feet. If you've ever used a Sackler Flowtech, and especially the higher end Sackler tripods, the feet are something that stand out, which is a silly thing about a tripod, but I think that also just has to play into the smoothness of your panning and tilting. When the feet are sturdy, the head is sturdy, and everything just feels really nice to use. The things I don't really love about this tripod are, one I already talked about, is super heavy. And I can see in some scenarios where that's just gonna be a bummer, lugging it around on long shoot days where there's a lot of movement, in and out of offices and in and out of the car, that kind of thing. It is heavy, but you have to realize with how the load capacity is 32 pounds, that's just gonna come with having a heavy tripod. It's gonna support a heavy camera package, so you gotta have a heavy duty head to go with that. So it's a compromise I'm willing to make right now. I think down the road in the future, I could see myself downgrading and getting a little bit lighter weight head for a lot of projects where I don't need something quite as big and bulky as this one. But right now, I think the combo of the head and the legs that Sirui put out is just really killer. And it's just gonna be the perfect tripod for a lot of people. Overall, I think this is an amazing value tripod. It puts it in the same class as the really high-end Sackler tripods that can cost up to $10,000 or more dollars. And with this one coming in at just under $1,500, I think it's a no-brainer for people who are willing to spend the money once and buy a really good tripod and have it for a long time in their career. The legs are amazing. They're overall really easy to use, and the mechanism on it is really nice, and it is gonna save you time on set and on jobs. The head is huge and massive, but with that comes extremely stable footage, really easy pan and tilt, and a counterbalance that does its job perfectly. So overall, this tripod is really amazing, and I can't wait for 2024 and projects that are coming in to be able to utilize this tripod to its full potential.
So there you have it, my friend, an interview, lighting breakdown, and tripod review all in one video. Thanks so much to Clay for helping me out because I just don't have enough experience to really speak knowledgeably to the topic, but I wanted to be able to review this tripod because I think it's gonna be helpful for a lot of you out there who do a lot of interview projects. So hopefully you know that you're hearing from someone you can trust in this field. I do agree with everything that he had to say though. My disclaimer is thank you to Sirui for sending the tripod. However, they don't get to watch this, they don't get to preview it, they don't get to make me say nice things, anything like that. And I even invited Clay because I didn't want to just fake a positive review. I wanted to really know what someone who really does this work thinks. So anyway, I hope this is helpful for you. Stick around because in the future, I think I'm gonna be reviewing the XS20, which is a camera I've been using for a while now, but I haven't gotten to review it yet. So it's kind of a long-term and a late review in terms of the market, but if that's helpful, something you're looking forward to, leave me a comment below. Thanks, friend. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I didn't think about doing an interview in a cold space and the fact that you can see the breath of the subject. So we have a space heater here. We're trying to work it around, figure out if the space heater can provide enough warmth so that the breath isn't showing maybe. But we're still trying to figure that out. So little things like that. And also there's snow. We're in a metal building, and so there's snow melting and you can hear the crinkling and all the sounds coming off of the roof. So trying to figure out some of these little problems here, but every interview space has its own problems. So yeah, working around and trying to figure it out.